Everyone, we're back. It's the next day. It's Krista, and we're going to kit and ship this HM69 tank that I prepped yesterday. That might work. Okay. Oh, oh my gosh, excuse me. I'm trying to die over here. Okay, I'm going to assume the microphone works. I see a green dot. Okay, the first step is that we're going to make the battery cable. And I forgot a tool for that. That's over here. I'm just walking away from you. And we grab that tool. Sometimes I'll make up a few, sometimes I won't. Okay, 2 heat shrinkies, a 90, and a straight. Oh, my brains. I guess if I put it on, it'll show as a person watching. Oh, goodness, that's loud. And then what we're going to do is, yay, one person watched, one person liked it. Maybe it doesn't suck. All right. I just kind of hold the terminal next to the end. I mean, I've done enough of these, I could probably do it without doing that. Just give it a little bit through to get through the rubber jacket. And this is pretty high conductor count or high strand count. Pretty good stuff. And this is just a cheapy hydraulic crimper off of the Jungle website. So now probably what most people would do first is put the heat treatment sleeves on, or the heat shrink sleeves on, but I know they fit over the lug, so I'm not as worried. Oh, and then I do have to kind of machine. So I went through the different combinations and I wasn't really happy with any of the combinations. So I kind of machined the bottom of one of these dies to match sort of what I was looking for. And it got to where I was able to crimp this, and then I could, I sawed it in half to check that we had the metal that, like the metal flowed. And so once the copper is solid, you know you've got it tight enough. All right, that's pretty good position. I don't like the crimp to be at the end of the ferrule. I like it to be a little more centered in the flat spot. I think some days the bypass hits earlier than others because like sometimes it'll be hard to do and sometimes it won't. I don't know. I don't care. I'll go ahead and feed these on now just to make sure that it doesn't make a liar out of me because, you know, anything can happen. And this is pretty good battery cable. And I got a couple of the strands of the copper, but that's kind of normal. There's gazillions. It's fine. Now on this one, I want to put the flatter side towards the eyelet. And I like to just really make sure it's a 90-degree angle. It's just better presentation that way. Oh yeah, this one got hard all of a sudden. Urgh. Okay. Well, like I said, I cut this off and then looked in the middle and it pretty much extruded everything flat against itself. So that's what we were looking for. I think I buy all this stuff. I mean, not these, but all the materials from like automotivebatterycable.com. I mean, the website's kind of hilarious just because of how kitschy it sounds. Harbor Freight cheapo heater. Like the same place sells the cable, the connectors, the heat shrink. I get 1/4 inch eyelets for 6mm. 1/4 inch is a little bigger, but that works. And I'm just looking for good extrusion of the glue underneath the adhesive. So this cable actually replaces the starter cable. And so during the install, and there are videos on our site or in the YouTubes, so you take the starter cable that's there off, loop it up, and then bolt it to the engine. You remove the old positive battery cable altogether, and then this becomes the new starter cable and we relocate the starter solenoid to the top of the tank. Maybe it was the top before, I don't know. I just know it is on our tank now. Well, that's why it was on low. Okay. Put this back so we know where it lives. Yeah, I wasn't going to say, I was like, well, how come this is taking forever to heat? Just shrink the heat shrink. Oh, it was on low. Oh, well. That's fine. We're not in a rush. All right, let's clean detritus off our workbench so we don't go and include random things in the order. Oh, I still need to listen to the video and see how loud the vacuum is. Okay. So this bin has the kit parts and pieces. And so we have the not Evo and the Evo. Very subtle differences between them, but difference enough that you'd have to go buy parts if we didn't make them different. So booklet, we need bigger to smaller tube adapter. We need littler filter, we need bigger filter. We need two spacers. We need two, was this 30? Yeah, two 5x30 screws. We were getting spacers made first at aluminumspacers.com, but honestly, nylon works great, and we can get a whole bag for less. We get those from like Granger or somebody. Maybe McMaster. And then we have some edge protection that you're going to cut and put on both sides of your frame. We need a couple hose clamps for the filter. All right, and that should be our kit. Let's put this all away and put it back on the shelf where it goes. Maybe even with its lid closed. Imagine that. Maybe with its lid closed. Okay. So there's that. Grab a few baggies that I staged earlier. Okay. Install booklet, check. 2 air filters, check. We buy those from S&B Filter. 1 breather for crankcase vent, that's the big hole. Check. 2 hose clamps. check, check. Barb tube fitting 3/4 to 5/8 reduction. Breather for stepper motor, tiny, which you're going to use a zip tie to hold, basically. 2 screws, 2 spacers. Screw 1, spacer 1. Screw 2, spacer 2. That 54-inch long battery cable. Oh, I skipped a screw. So we include a spare low hex head screw because that's where the ground cable bolts to the engine. It's a really soft-headed screw. And so I give you a spare one, but somehow I skipped it. Oh, I grabbed the top 2 ones instead. Okay, here it is. And that's why we have things like checklists and procedures, and why we do things carefully and we care. Because even though I've done this 1,000 times, literally, well, I don't think I did. I think we had somebody helping do the kits in San Diego. We've always built the kits. Let's see, 6x12 low head, rubber edge protection, 3 cable ties, and a 5x14 screw. Another spare screw in case you don't like the one on your bike. So let's put some of the goodies in here now. I kind of like to have a clean surface before doing kitting and stuff to make sure that we get all the parts and there's nothing left over. I mean, it sounds obvious, but you learn all these things the hard way over time. And nothing's worse than wasting a customer's time when they're looking forward to getting their bike put together over the weekend and you put the parts kit together wrong or something else that you didn't pay attention to. So I put these filters in a little bag because otherwise their oil gets everywhere. S&B filters look like K&Ns except for they're a little bit better quality and they filter better. These are actually uni filters. The S&Bs are the ones that look like K&Ns but aren't. All right, let's take, and this is a very important sheet. It tells you which fasteners have to get anti-seize, and that's going to be the next step. So this is the ultra boring part that I normally don't show. This the extra kitting and stuff. So technically these could be made ahead of time and then we'd already be packing the box for shipping right now. We're not exactly in best case scenario or best practice scenario. Just kind of doing stuff as they need. All right, I like the flat part to go inward, or the angled part, I should say. The 90. All right, there's our parts kit. There's our filters. We've got those ready. And there's cat hair, because cats. Oh, wow, there's still all kinds of chips. Probably flaming the tank did a good job to remove some of the static cling. So always look for more chips. And then I practice getting the ink flowing on, or the paint flowing on the spare piece, HM106, 10, 12, 22. It's a little bit informal, but I never did get around to buying more mold and graphics. And the thought of ruining a tank and calling it bad because of the graphic being wrong breaks my heart, so we're not going to do that. Okay, now we do anti-seize. The fasteners which have a shoulder, so they're like fairing fasteners. They have a little shoulder underneath the cap. Those somehow seem to try to lock in. And they don't genuinely seize, but they require so much torque to loosen that they'll often spin inserts. So to combat that, we have switched to square inserts because they have like 2 or 3 times the resistance of spinning as traditional hexagonal inserts. Oh no, we're gonna run out of tape. I just don't know what to do now. That's quite unfortunate. So I put tape on these to help prevent making a mess. Dang, I'm gonna have to go find more tape. That's disturbing. Do we have more tape? I don't even know. Here, this one has more than 0. So we'll use this tape. When that one runs out, so please peel off the tape before installing. You would think people would realize that, but no, folks have left it on, and I just can't even, I can't. I don't understand in what universe you would leave those on. My tape done. I missed with this one a little bit because I was all flustered. So let's put just a... Oh, wow, it got my glove. That's crazy. Just a smidge on there. And this is just Park Tool Company. They do bicycle parts. It's their anti-seize. So yeah, the point of the tape is just so that you know, handling the tank doesn't transfer the anti-seize freaking everywhere. And the frame mount. The frame mount was the first one notorious for spinning. And so we have these crazy, like literally aerospace engineered inserts for those. A company had those engineered, and we got permission to, you know, like reuse their design because we're not a competitor. And so, yeah, like that fastener or this insert bushing is stronger than any fastener you thread into it. They're talking about the testing they did was, it was difficult because it destroyed the plastic or the bolt or their test rig before there'd be failures. It's like the last thing to fail were the threads of the insert itself. And that's pretty cool. I like when engineers get nerdy. All right, almost ready. So we use Maxima silicone spray SC1 on our tanks. This stuff is just magic. Honestly, it's like they made it just for our tanks. But technically, that's actually almost true because I think they made it for when you have your dirt bike out and you get it muddy. This keeps the mud from sticking. Well, a lot of the dirt bike stuff is made the same way. Like the tanks are rotationally molded HDPE, just like these tanks. And it's possible back in the day that Acerbis roto-molded the side panels too. You can make things via that way. I'm pretty sure nowadays nobody roto-molds body panels for dirt bikes. There's just too many bikes and the production takes too long. So they'll use blow molding or extrusion blow molding to make those parts most likely. Now I think that has a little bit of talc on it. So I don't go crazy with this stuff. I use a little bit less than, say, if you're trying to spray paint. This one doesn't have talc on it. But this one has chips from old tanks, so hey, we'll just mix and match. Why not? Why not? Yeah, adding that SC1 sure does make the tank pop afterwards. It's pretty incredible. When I raced motorcycles, I was actually sponsored by Maxima, and I haven't really kept up with them much. I love their oils. Always had their SC1 for various reasons, but once we got these tanks going, it was like the go-to. Because we tried all the different types of spray things. Kind of one of my favorite motorcycle cleany things is the Pro Honda spray cleaner. This stuff is magic. It like is great on tools. Like our Snap-on tool guy went and got himself a couple cans. He sold me tools once that were used, and then I showed him, or he saw him the next week when he came around. I was like, "What the heck did you do to that?" And I was like, "Yeah, I just cleaned it up." You know, motorcycle guys are kind of freakish about our tools. Like, you know, we're not exactly rich, so we take care of our tools. And he was like, "Wow, holy crap, I need that." The SC1, you know, like if it's what you need, nothing else will work. But if something else is better, then you don't really want to use the SC1. But anyway, back to when I was racing. I raced 2-strokes, and it was an Aprilia street bike, an RS 250. And that was back when they had kind of a spec class, and you were limited in what you were allowed to do. And so I didn't really do any work. And, you know, I tried my best to just keep up on maintenance. Oh, I'm going to make a disaster out of this. I always do. Okay, maybe a little less disastrous this time. And so after like the third year, everyone's like, "Did you get your crank done?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" "Well, you have to take your crank to Vigansky to get him to do your crankshaft." I was like, "Oh, okay." So I did, and I was like, "So how often do like people do these cranks?" And he's like, "Well, if you're nice to them, you can get a whole season." I was like, "Oh, really?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Well, we've never done anything. This has gone 3 years." And he couldn't believe it, honestly. He was like, "What the heck oil are you using?" I was like, "I just use Maxima injector. I mean, everybody at Willow Springs is sponsored by Maxima, right?" And he was like, "Well, I'm converted." I mean, it's not like I just fangirl for him. I was like, you know, you're sponsored. You get their crap for half off. Duh, it's a pretty easy decision. I always ran their semi-synthetic, the red extra stuff in my 4-strokes. Start. So I put a little tabby do on the wrap so people are not tempted to use a knife. I actually had a customer use a knife once, and it kind of broke my heart. Get this going. So the point here is to hold the anti-seize screws in place, like the covers to those screws. You know, my tape there. Hold those in place, and then also to help prevent the packing peanuts from getting into the interior of the tank, because that would probably be really annoying to try to remove. And the shape is so difficult. Okay, I think we got it all. So yeah, we've packed and shipped about 1,000 of these. I'd probably need to do some magic in the computers to figure out the exact number. And now we're going to do stuff you're probably not expecting, which is actually pack the box. But remember, there's things to add before I seal it, because there's more parts to the order. So let's angle you up. Hi. All right, this is a custom-made box. This is actually not the cheapest box we can get. We wanted something strong enough to handle the tank. So they're a few bucks each. And if you know anything about industry or paper or boxes, there's a paper supply shortage, and every aspect about cardboard boxes is custom. If you don't go to a box place and go, I don't know, just a box. It's like, holy crap. You have to use calipers and measure the thickness of the paper on the edges. You have to use your calipers and measure the thickness of the corrugation in the middle. Then you bring a few peanuts. Just a few peanuts. We save the air pocket things, like the air pouches, for international shipments. Because that's when, like 1 pound makes a difference for like the world, but it won't make a difference for shipping. This dimensions out to 52 or 54 pounds. So shipping this in UPS is like shipping any size thing that weighs 54 pounds as far as their rate charts go. And let's just pour some more in, and then I'm going to end the video because I totally forgot to pull. They want some O-rings. Yeah, they want 2 different kinds of O-rings added to their order, and I totally brained that. So the O-rings will put sort of at this end and then tape it to the tank. They'll go in another envelope. Or should I say another Ziploc bag. That's enough of that foolishness. I should have cut the bag. I don't even remember to. Now you can't even see the thing. Jeez. I thought I dropped 2. So there you go. Those are the parts kit and the wrapping and packing of the tank. Hopefully it was only a lot boring. And thanks, and we'll see you later. Bye.